Attention insomnia sufferers. A new scientific breakthrough has finally revealed the true neurological cause of your insomnia, and researchers at the University of Oxford have discovered a simple, natural technique to cure your insomnia quickly and permanently. It's the secret to falling asleep in 15 minutes or less every single night, sleeping peacefully all night long, and waking up well-rested and refreshed every morning. It's the key to erasing the anxiety you feel about going to bed. And it's so simple. It starts with a shake recipe you can make right now. It's all thanks to a team of neuroscientists who have revealed how the medical industry has gotten it wrong about insomnia for decades. The root cause of insomnia isn't stress or hormones or bad habits or anything else you've heard before. Insomnia is caused by an imbalance in your neural activity. You have too much activity in the wake center of your brain, causing your brain to literally fight with itself when you need to sleep. But now, sleep experts have discovered a simple, natural, and safe technique to slow down that neural activity and outsmart your insomnia for good, without ever using dangerous, addictive sleeping pills. Thanks to this discovery, thousands of people have used this Outsmart Insomnia technique to escape the torment of their disease and finally enjoy their lives again. So if you've ever lied awake for hours before getting to sleep, felt hopeless as you realized another sleepless night was passing you by, been too tired to work, function, or even hold a conversation, avoid social activity because you know you won't have the energy, rolled over, switched pillows, or even gone to the couch to try to get comfortable, or wondered if you'll have to spend the rest of your life miserable and exhausted, then pay close attention to this presentation, because you're going to discover how this recent University of Oxford study finally revealed the truth to curing insomnia. In just a few minutes, you'll have the knowledge you need to outsmart your insomnia and start living every day full of happiness and energy. I should warn you, make sure to watch it now, because the medical and pharmaceutical industry make over $4.5 billion every year from sleeping pills. So they don't want you to know the truth. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep this presentation up, but stick with me for the next few minutes, and you'll discover the secret to outsmart your insomnia once and for all. Ready? Let's get started. My name is Sam Oakes, and my insomnia almost killed me. Before I get to that, let me tell you about myself. I'm 44 years old, and I live outside Philadelphia with my wife and 2 children. I work at a physical therapy clinic, where every day I help people recover from their medical issues. But up until a few years ago, I couldn't even help myself. Insomnia was making my life a living hell. It started when I was a teenager. My friend complained that it took him an hour to fall asleep. An hour! I would have loved to fall asleep in an hour. It was the first time I realized that it wasn't normal to lie awake for 3 to 5 hours, or sometimes not sleep at all. But if I'd known what the next stage of my life would bring, I would have been thankful for even a few hours of sleep. See, a few years after I'd started my career and started my family, my insomnia exploded. One night I just couldn't fall asleep. All night long I stared at the ceiling. I thought the next night I'd be so exhausted that I wouldn't have any problem getting to sleep. But again, not 1 minute of sleep. Finally, on the 3rd night, I slept for 2 hours. And then the 4th night, I went right back to no sleep at all. That started the worst years of my life. I'd be lucky to sleep a few hours a week. I'd spend all night staring at the ceiling, and all day walking around like a zombie. I'm sure you know exactly what that's like. Your muscles ache like you've been pumping iron all day. You feel buzzed, like everything is brighter and needs your attention, even while your attention span is completely gone. People talk to you like you're drunk, and really, you might as well be. When I was younger, I used to go on long bike rides through the country. It was my favorite, most relaxing thing to do. But as my insomnia got worse, I couldn't bike anymore. I'd ride 100 feet and my legs would turn to heavy stones. Not sleeping was exhausting my whole body. I was just too weak to do my favorite hobby. It made it impossible to stay in shape. Starting in my early 20s, I gained weight every year. I hated looking in the mirror because my gut just got bigger and bigger. The worst part was, I was a decent-looking guy, except for my insomnia was making me gain weight and look sick all the time. And then I started getting terrible migraines, which my doctor told me was from not sleeping enough. The pain split my head in two, and I couldn't even function. My job performance plummeted. It took me forever to get anything done. because my exhausted mind was thinking so slowly. I felt like a failure. It's the most frustrating thing I've ever experienced. I was just as smart as the next guy, and just as hardworking, but I was falling behind in my career because of my insomnia. But the most embarrassing of all, my sex life with my wife went downhill. My body was just too worn out to perform sexually. My insomnia was destroying every part of my life. It stole my hobbies, my health, my work, and now my manhood. I became severely depressed. Was this what the rest of my life would be like? Everywhere I looked, I saw people who didn't realize how lucky they had it. All I wanted was to sleep normally like everyone else, so I wouldn't feel sick and exhausted all the time. So my migraines would go away, and I could enjoy a normal, happy relationship with my wife. And believe me, I tried everything to fix my insomnia. Pills knocked me out, but I'd wake up even more tired than when I went to bed. And then all day I'd be too groggy to function. Plus, I've seen good people get addicted to sleeping pills. I didn't trust them. I tried natural supplements as well. Still didn't help. Sometimes I'd hear a new trick that was supposed to cure insomnia, so I'd try it. Sometimes the trick might even work for a few weeks, and I'd think I was finally cured. But then the insomnia would come right back. I didn't realize yet that the medical industry had no idea what caused insomnia, and they were failing miserably to provide a solution. They didn't care, since they make over $4.5 billion each year in sleeping pills. I thought I was doomed to spend my whole life exhausted, unhealthy, and ruining relationships. But then 3 years ago, things got worse than I ever thought they could. I was going through a stressful time. Work was tough, and I argued with my wife and kids almost every day. My insomnia was getting worse and worse. Most nights I didn't sleep at all, which of course made work even tougher and made me fight with my family even more. I got to the point where I'd have given anything just to fall asleep. So I talked to my doctor and got back on sleeping pills. I knew they were dangerous, and I knew I'd wake up just as tired as when I went to bed, but I didn't care. I just wanted some rest from the stress of staying awake all night. But the first night I took the pills, they almost killed me. Now at this point, I'd only slept 4 hours over the last 10 days, so I was pretty much walking around in a daze. Since I'd tried sleeping pills before, and they'd never worked that well, I decided I would take twice what the doctor told me to. Trust me, never take more than prescribed. I'm lucky to be alive. Before putting the kids to bed, I took 2 pills. After that, I barely remember anything. But based on what my wife tells me, here's what must have happened. I tucked in the kids, then went to brush my teeth. My wife asked me if I'd brought in our dog, Maggie. She was a lab who was getting older, so she preferred to spend the night inside. I went back downstairs and let her in. As exhausted as I was, I must have forgotten that I'd already taken the sleeping pill, so I took 2 more. Back upstairs, my wife asked me if I'd made sure the door was locked. I went back downstairs to do that. I must have forgotten again and taken 2 more. Now, I was already on a high dose, and I had just swallowed 6 times that much. Apparently, I passed out on my way back up the stairs. I do remember feeling my eyelids getting heavy and thinking that this didn't feel right. I tried to call out to my wife, but nothing came out but a grunt. Suddenly, our dog was at my side, whining and nuzzling my face. Then everything went black. I woke up in the hospital. I felt like someone had punched me in the stomach and then taken a 2x4 to my head. It turns out my wife had heard Maggie barking and found me unconscious on the stairs. She called an ambulance, and 30 minutes later the doctors had pumped my stomach and had me hooked up to all sorts of wires and tubes. Ironically, I slept more that night than I had in 2 weeks. When I finally woke up, thanks to the prayers of my wife and the talents of the doctors, my wife was sitting by my bed. Her eyes were red and swollen from crying. After a few minutes, the doctor came in. At first, they thought I had tried to kill myself. "No," I said. "I don't even know what happened." I convinced them it was an accident. I didn't want to die, but the doctor was still concerned. "You're lucky you're still alive," he told me. "If you'd taken just 1 more pill, or if you'd arrived at the hospital just 5 minutes later, the drugs would have shut down your whole body." I couldn't believe it. I'd almost died. I'd almost missed out on growing old with my wife and watching my kids go to college and get married. Then the doctor told me even worse news. "Your vital statistics aren't looking good. Your blood pressure is dangerously low. It should be at 120/80. Yours is at 75/45. We've also detected a high number of heart palpitations. Your heart is skipping beats. You're at a very high risk for heart failure." "How long have you had insomnia?" "My whole life," I told him. "It's destroying your cardiovascular system. You could experience fatal heart failure within 3 years." I was too young for things like that, wasn't I? "Listen," said the doctor. "If you don't start sleeping more, you'll suffer an early death. But you can't take sleeping pills ever again. Even if you take the proper dosage, they could shut down your weak cardiovascular system. That's the last thing an insomniac wants to hear. Stress already kept me awake, and now if I didn't sleep, I would die early. With that level of stress, I'd never be able to sleep again. Sure enough, my first night at home, I didn't sleep at all. Instead, I spent all night angry about my situation. I'd already suffered for years from insomnia, and it made every aspect of my life much harder than the average person's. I already had to put up with feeling exhausted every day, thinking a little slower because of my exhaustion. I couldn't exercise very much or do well in sports. Even my relationships with my children suffered, since sometimes they thought my exhaustion was me not caring. And now this. It wasn't enough that my whole life had been tough. Now I was going to die early, unless I could find a way to beat my insomnia. But what was I supposed to do? I had already tried everything my doctor told me. I'd already tried everything the so-called experts advised. I'd bought dozens of self-help books on beating insomnia naturally. I'd tried herbal remedies and natural supplements. Nothing worked. I didn't even know yet that the medical industry was absolutely clueless when it came to insomnia, except for one small group of researchers. It was pure luck that I found them. I'd been sent by the physical therapy clinic I worked for to a conference. I attended the presentation I was supposed to, and then, as I was walking out, I noticed a room off to the side with a sign in front. It said, "A new view of insomnia." That's what I needed, so I went inside. A guy about my age stood at the front of the conference room getting his presentation ready. I sat down and listened to what he had to say. He introduced himself as Ryan Harmon. He was a neuroscience researcher who specialized in sleep disorders. He talked about how over the years, doctors and medical researchers have made only guesses at what causes insomnia and how it should be treated. Some doctors said it was a purely psychological problem. It was all in your mind and should be treated by psychologists. Later, some doctors said it wasn't even a real disease. It was just a side effect of other diseases. If you wanted to cure the insomnia, you'd have to cure the other disease. The problem with these theories was they never led to a cure. Doctors and psychologists would listen to their patients, tell them to stop stressing out, and prescribe sleeping pills. But sleeping pills aren't a real solution. As soon as you stop taking them, you have insomnia again. Not to mention how dangerous they are. From the first time you take a pill, your body starts to depend on them and becomes less able to sleep on its own. It's not a question of whether or not you'll become addicted. It's only a question of when. Some people can go for months before it happens, but others become addicted after just one pill. Ryan then explained the whole problem. 10% of people have long-term insomnia, and 40% have occasional insomnia. That means there's a severe medical problem that at any given time is affecting between 10 and 40% of the population, and we don't even know what causes it. At least, Ryan said, until now. A team of neuroscientists and medical doctors at the University of Pittsburgh have finally discovered the cause. They finally know what's going on in your brain when you're suffering from insomnia. See, your brain has a wake center and a sleep center. Both are complex systems made up of different parts of the brain. Obviously, when you're awake, there's more neural activity in the wake center, and when you're asleep, there's more neural activity in the sleep center. When you go to sleep, neurons from the sleep center are sent to slow down activity in the wake center of the brain. When you wake up, the wake center becomes more active and slows down activity in the sleep center. Now, when someone with insomnia tries to sleep, their sleep center becomes active, but their wake center stays active too. So when you're lying awake, unable to sleep even though your body is telling you it needs to sleep, both your wake center and sleep center are active. That's why it feels like your body is fighting with itself, because it is. This new understanding of insomnia came from a study published in the peer-reviewed journal Disease Models in 2012. They first studied animals, and then discovered the same ideas were true in people. After decades of not understanding the real causes of insomnia, they finally found the answer. Well, I sat through that entire presentation, paying close attention. After 20 years of struggling with insomnia, I finally knew what was going on in my head. I didn't know the solution yet, but it felt so close. After the presentation, I went up and introduced myself. I thanked him for the presentation. "Do you suffer from insomnia?" Ryan asked me. I told him how I'd struggled with insomnia for over 20 years, and how I'd recently accidentally overdosed on sleeping pills. And I told him how the doctors said I'd die from heart failure if I didn't start getting sleep. Ryan listened to me and then said, "I have something that will help you." "I don't want any more sleeping pills," I said. "Not even any natural sleep supplements." "This isn't like that," he said. "Did you understand my presentation?" "I think so," I said. "I have insomnia because when my sleep center becomes active, my wake center doesn't slow down. Both stay active." "That's right. Your brain is telling your body it needs sleep. and it's telling your body to stay awake. This new research changes everything we know about insomnia, and it holds the key to finally curing insomnia. The only reason every doctor isn't talking about this yet is that the research is so new. It hasn't had time to get around yet. That's why I'm visiting these conferences, to get the word out. So what can I do to fix my insomnia? I asked. I'm glad you asked, said Ryan. Now that we know what in the brain is causing insomnia, it's got me thinking about some other research. Research that proved the human brain can be molded and shaped. What do you mean? I asked. The brain is constantly changing. For example, if you learn a musical instrument, you can actually measure the change in your brain. Or if you start meditating, we can see growth in other parts of our brain. Certain activities and habits cause more activity in certain parts of the brain, or certain activities can force that activity to slow down. Do you see what I'm getting at? I think so, I said. Here's what I mean, said Ryan. When you have insomnia, we know which parts of the brain are too active and which parts aren't active enough. And do you know what activities will speed up or slow down these parts? I asked. He nodded. Exactly. In fact, research from the University of Oxford has discovered which activities will slow down the activity in your brain's wake center. That means I can cure your insomnia. How about we grab lunch tomorrow, and I'll show you how it works. Of course, I agreed. The next day we met at a local restaurant. He brought a stack of papers and set it on the table. Let's start, he said, with you deciding what you want from this. What's your real goal? To live and grow old, I said. To not have heart failure. What else? I put my hands on my belly. To lose weight, to be able to exercise, to get rid of my migraines, to have the energy to do well at work, and enjoy my hobbies, and have fun with my family. Really, I said, just to feel healthy again. Then listen closely to what I'm about to say, Ryan told me. Curing your insomnia will give you all of that. You'll have more energy. Studies show that getting rid of insomnia makes it easier to lose weight, and your body will be able to heal itself to minimize your risk of heart failure. So how do I do that? I asked. How do I fix my insomnia? Let's look closely at your problems, he said, and break down exactly what you mean when you say you want to fix your insomnia. I'm guessing there's 3 different things you want. 1, you want to get to sleep quickly. 2, you want to fix your sleep schedule and fall asleep quickly every night. And 3, you want to actually sleep deeply enough that you wake up feeling refreshed. Is that right? He asked. Right, I said. Okay, we're going to tackle those problems one at a time. First, I'm going to make sure you know every trick in the book to fall asleep in 15 minutes or less. Every habit or action you can do to slow down the activity in the wake center of your brain. Next, we're going to help you start sleeping regularly again. I'll show you the exact activities that will program your brain for the long term. You'll be able to fall asleep quickly every single night. Last, we'll make sure you sleep deeply and get the type of sleep that actually refreshes you and helps your body heal itself. That sounds amazing, I said. What do I do first? He explained the plan to me, and for the next 2 weeks we met every day. I first used Ryan's techniques for falling asleep in 15 minutes. I'm not going to say a miracle happened, but the first night I used the no-words visualization technique and fell asleep faster than I have in years. Ryan told me that these first techniques were more of a short-term solution. They solved the problem that night, but in order for me to start sleeping regularly again, I needed something more. So I jumped right into the next group of techniques. I started with a trick to relax your brain waves and drift to sleep. It was the most relaxed I've ever felt while lying in bed. But the real meat was the sleep schedule solution. This uses research from the University of Oxford on how to slow down the wake center of your brain and speed up neural activity in the sleep center of your brain. Ryan had taken this research and turned it into a 2-week program with simple techniques like setting your alarm for the exact time that will help you sleep regularly and knowing what to do when you're lying in bed and not falling asleep. As I followed those nighttime instructions, one night the most amazing thing happened. After putting the kids to bed, I was sitting with my wife on the couch, and I nodded off. After 20 years of not being able to sleep no matter how much I wanted to, I fell asleep on accident. And this wasn't the exhaustion I was used to, the kind where your whole body aches and begs for sleep but your mind stays awake. This was feeling sleepy. Both my body and mind were peacefully relaxing, ready to drift off. We went upstairs, and I slept until my alarm went off 8 hours later. I was a little groggy when I woke up, but I couldn't believe it. I'd slept through the night. As I followed his program, I had more and more nights like that. After 2 weeks, most nights I was falling asleep quickly and staying asleep. It was amazing. But Ryan said the best part was still coming. I started using the techniques to sleep deeply, and my life completely changed. Ryan explained to me that sleep is more complicated than just REM and NREM sleep. There's actually 3 stages of NREM sleep, and only the 3rd stage is the deep, rejuvenating sleep that helps you wake up feeling refreshed and helps your body repair itself. In fact, you could sleep 10 hours every night, but if you don't spend any time in stage 3 deep NREM sleep, then you'll feel like you didn't sleep at all. So beating insomnia and falling asleep is only half the battle. You also have to make sure you're getting stage 3 deep NREM sleep. And that's exactly what I did with the last section of Ryan's program. I used techniques like in-the-moment thinking and the stress-free tomorrow protocol. These are simple things you can do that help your brain produce the chemicals that will help you slip quickly into stage 3 deep NREM sleep. After just a few days of such wonderful sleep, the world felt like a different place. I stopped feeling groggy all day and started feeling wide awake. My migraines disappeared. I had the energy to enjoy my hobbies, to have fun with my family on weekends, and to even go on vacations and actually enjoy them. Now that my body was working the way it's supposed to, it started burning fat again. I lost 25 pounds in just 5 weeks. My gut disappeared, and I noticed I was turning heads again. Even people 10 years younger were checking me out. I started doing better at work. Ryan explained that effective sleep helps you focus and be more productive. With the insomnia gone, there was nothing holding me back. What used to take me a week to do, I could now finish in a day. It didn't take long for me to get a nice promotion and a big raise. My relationship with my wife improved, including our relationship in the bedroom. My embarrassing problem went away. Best of all, my wife and kids were happier around me, and I realized it was because I was happier around them. After I'd been free from insomnia for several months, my coworker Carol pulled me aside one day. "You used to have insomnia, didn't you?" she asked. I told her that yes, I used to. "How'd you get rid of it?" Carol went on to tell me how ever since her husband had lost her job, she'd been unable to sleep. The stress kept her up worrying. I explained how I'd met Ryan and about the techniques he'd taught me. She asked if she could try it, and of course I said yes. I gave her a copy of everything I had. Just a week later, she came looking for me at work, excited and smiling. I used the Ready, Set, Sleep workout, and I slept better than ever. Pretty soon the whole office was talking about how great Carol looked. She was happier, she had more energy. And it turns out that effective sleep is healthy for your skin. People started mistaking her for being 10 years younger. After I shared the system with Carol, it didn't take long for friends and family to start calling me to ask about this new insomnia cure I'd found. So I shared it with them, and it fixed their insomnia. It didn't matter if they'd had insomnia for years or just a few days. It didn't matter if their insomnia stopped them from sleeping for days at a time or just made it hard for them to get to sleep. The program Ryan had given me worked. I called him to tell him how great it was doing. "We have to share this with everyone," I said. Ryan agreed. "In fact," he said, "I've already been trying, but the medical industry makes $4.5 billion each year charging you for sleeping pills. They don't want people to know that there's an easier, safer, long-term solution." So we spent some time figuring out how we could spread the news about this new insomnia cure. But we finally decided to bypass medical publications altogether and get the word out ourselves. We wanted everyone who suffers from insomnia to finally get free from their disease. So we organized Ryan's program into an easy-to-read guide and made it available online for everyone to download. It's called the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol. It's split into 4 complete modules, so you'll find out 1. The real facts about what's causing your insomnia. 2. How to fall asleep quickly. 3. How to start sleeping regularly again. And 4. How to sleep deeply. Let me take a minute to explain exactly what's inside each module. Module 1 is called The Truth About Insomnia. Inside, you'll discover the real medical reasons for your insomnia. You'll find out why the medical industry has got it wrong about insomnia for years, and the new research that finally gets it right. What happens in a healthy brain during sleep, and what happens in a brain with insomnia. And the 3 worst mistakes you can make before bed that activates the wake center of your brain. Once you understand the truth behind insomnia, you're ready for Module 2, the quick and dirty guide to fall asleep in 15 minutes or less. Now it's time to really get started. This module is all about getting to sleep quick and saying goodbye to those miserable nights of lying awake. It's packed with 15 tricks to tell your brain it's time to sleep. Inside, you'll find the all-natural insomnia-busting shake recipe. The shake is precisely designed with the right combination of ingredients to tell your brain to produce the melatonin and other nutrichemicals to help you peacefully drift off to sleep. The head-to-toe total body relaxer. This technique is proven to help you relax every muscle in your body and send the message to your brain that it's time to sleep. The Sleepy Numbers breathing method. Did you know that most people don't get enough oxygen into their blood, making their heart have to pump extra hard? This breathing method helps you absorb more oxygen with each breath, letting your heart rate slow to a relaxed level, and helps you drift off into a comfortable slumber. No words visualization. 98% of people with insomnia make this one mistake that stimulates their brain and keeps them awake. Hint: what you think about determines your brain activity, and how medical researchers have found that breathing through your left nostril will send you off to sleep. Each of these techniques will help you get to sleep in 15 minutes or less, but for a long-term cure for your insomnia, you need a little bit more help. That's why Module 3 is 3 steps to balance your brain chemistry, fix your sleep schedule, and cure insomnia forever. This is the most vital section of the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol. There are hundreds of so-called cures for insomnia out there, and some of them even work, but only for a few weeks. What you're about to see is the only long-term solution to insomnia. All it takes is 3 steps. Step 1. 4 questions to instantly reveal what's causing your insomnia. We finally know what's going wrong in the brain to cause your insomnia, but sometimes there are factors in your life that are causing those things to go wrong. The first step helps you figure out exactly what's causing your insomnia, so you know exactly how to fix it. Step 2. The Hypnotist's Guide to Relax Your Brain Waves and Drift to Sleep. Beating insomnia is all about reprogramming your brain to fall asleep and stay asleep, and that starts with setting your brain waves to the right frequency. In this step, you'll find easy steps to setting your brain waves to the exact frequency that will give you the most relaxing sleep of your life. And Step 3. The Sleep Schedule Solution. This is how you'll get back to your ideal sleep schedule. It takes the findings of the studies from the University of Oxford and presents the only long-term solution to insomnia in the world. In just days, you'll be effortlessly falling asleep at the same time every night, enjoying the healthy sleep schedule that you thought you'd never have again. The steps in this module will have you sleeping normally again, but there's still one part left. Module 4. The Neuroscientist's Secrets to Deep, Satisfying Sleep and Waking Up Refreshed. These are the secrets to making your sleep count. Remember Ryan's explanation of REM and NREM sleep? Sleep by itself doesn't actually rejuvenate you. It's only deep sleep, stage 3 deep NREM sleep, that lets you wake up feeling like $1,000,000. In this module, you'll discover scientifically proven techniques to make sure you spend as much time as possible in stage 3 NREM sleep. You'll find out about in-the-moment thinking and how helping your mind temporarily forget the future will lead to deeper sleep. The stress-free protocol. Did you know that worrying before falling asleep actually makes it more difficult to reach deep sleep? With this technique, you'll get the secret to relaxing no matter your worries, so you can sleep deeply. The worst mistake made by 90% of people with insomnia that keeps you from sleeping at night, and how to avoid it. The Ready, Set, Snooze 5-minute workout. No matter how in shape you are, you can do this easy, quick workout. It's scientifically proven to prepare your brain for the best sleep of your life, plus so much more, including the 6 bedtime snack foods that send you straight into deep sleep, and the 5 bedroom mistakes that keep your sleep light and uncomfortable, plus how to beat them. Each module to the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol is packed full of scientifically proven methods to slow down activity in the wake center of your brain so you can fall asleep quickly and spend the maximum amount of time in stage 3 NREM deep sleep. This program literally saved my life. My cardiovascular health is better than ever, and the doctor said my risk of heart failure is virtually gone. The stress, fear, and anxiety that used to hit me when I thought about going to bed are gone. Now I look forward to relaxing in bed as I drift off to sleep, usually within 15 minutes. And now I wake up each morning feeling well-rested, refreshed, and ready to go. Imagine how it would feel to actually be excited to go to bed, knowing you would fall asleep quick, sleep deeply, and wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. What would you be willing to give in order to sleep well again? $1,000? $10,000? Since it could literally save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills from insomnia-related problems, maybe even more? Well, Ryan and I knew this was valuable, but we weren't about to take advantage of people. So we broke down the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol and looked at what other places were charging. Module 1, The Truth About Insomnia, would cost around $35 in the store. Module 2, The Quick and Dirty Guide to Fall Asleep in 15 Minutes or Less, would be about $47. Module 3, 3 Steps to Balance Your Brain Chemistry, Fix Your Sleep Schedule, and Cure Insomnia Forever, would cost $39. And Module 4, The neuroscientist's secrets to deep, satisfying sleep and waking up refreshed would be about $53. That's a total of $174. Keep in mind, the research at the core of the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol is brand new. Before now, every cure for insomnia was only temporary. Other guides cost this much, and they don't even fix your insomnia long term. On the other hand, the techniques in the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol are scientifically proven to permanently cure insomnia. Most people we talked to said that curing their insomnia would be worth thousands of dollars. But Ryan and I want to spread the word quickly, so everyone can see that there's finally a safe, real, permanent cure for insomnia. In fact, we set a goal to help 1 million people outsmart their insomnia. To reach that goal, we're cutting the $174 price down to only $37. But this special $37 price is only available until we reach our goal, and we're well on our way, so make sure to get it before the price goes up. We're so confident in the research backing these techniques that we're offering a 60-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If for any reason you're not satisfied, just request a refund through ClickBank or email me directly, and you'll be refunded 100% of your money. We're offering this guarantee because every day we hear stories from people like Walter Mason from New Mexico who said, "My insomnia almost cost me my career. I worked in a fast-paced office, but for years I struggled with getting sleep, so I could never focus. Then my boss gave me a month to get my act together or I was fired. Thank goodness I found the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol. I used the techniques inside, and my insomnia practically disappeared overnight. I saved my job, and now I'm enjoying life more than ever." Or Becca Saunders from New York who said, "Insomnia made me feel gross. I felt sick all the time, and I looked like an old woman, even though I'm only 33. All I wanted was to go out and enjoy my hobbies and to feel confident doing it. A friend introduced me to the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol, and everything changed. I immediately started sleeping better, and that sick feeling went away. Pretty soon, people were complimenting me on how great my skin looked. Even better, I looked forward to each day, now that I knew I'd be awake and energized." Or Michael Davidson from California who said, "My insomnia came out of nowhere. I was 35 when it started. My family didn't understand why all of a sudden I wasn't as happy as I used to be. I was just too tired. I found the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol, used the techniques inside, and right away my insomnia disappeared. Now I feel better and my family's thrilled I'm back." So if you're ready for a new life where you're excited to go to sleep at night and you spend each day feeling well rested and refreshed, if you want to use the newest research from the University of Oxford to permanently erase your insomnia, and if you want to take advantage of our temporary price cut and get $174 worth of materials for only $37, then click the button below to add the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol to your cart right now. You'll be taken to a secure checkout page hosted by ClickBank.com, the world's largest and most trusted information retailer. From there, you'll get instant access to the entire Outsmart Insomnia Protocol. You'll be able to view the modules on your computer, tablet, or smartphone, or print it off and read it anywhere you like. I want you to take a second to think about what the next few weeks will be like if you start using the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol today. Imagine how it'll feel to lie down in bed without any stress or anxiety about falling asleep. You'll comfortably become more and more relaxed until you drift off to pleasant sleep. Imagine sleeping through the night and waking up feeling like you can take on the world because you just experienced the most refreshing sleep of your life. Imagine over the next few weeks realizing that your sleep schedule has become normal, that you don't need to worry about going to bed because you already know you'll go right to sleep. Imagine feeling your health return. You'll be able to take trips and enjoy your hobbies like you used to. People will notice you losing weight and looking younger, and they'll want to know your secret. And the only secret will be that you've finally shaken off what's been holding you back. You've finally outsmarted your insomnia. Now, the way I see it, you've got three options. Option number one, you don't change anything. You keep struggling with insomnia, feeling sick and exhausted all the time, ruining your relationships with your family and friends, and steadily destroying your health. Give up and accept that you'll be miserable for the rest of your life. Or you can try option number two. Try to fix the problem yourself. Maybe pick up a different book on insomnia that, if you're lucky, will work for a few weeks. Maybe try sleeping pills, which are dangerous and don't last long either. You'll have the same depressing life as option one, only now you wasted time, effort, and money. And then there's option three. Get instant access to the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol right now and get rid of insomnia forever. Using the techniques inside like the Sleep Numbers breathing method, the Stress-Free Tomorrow Protocol, and the Sleep Schedule Solution. Start falling asleep quickly and easily, and start spending more time in Stage 3 NREM deep sleep so you can enjoy each day well rested and full of energy. rediscover your hope and excitement for life, knowing that the insomnia that was holding you back is gone forever. I hope you choose option 3 and finally get rid of that terrible sinking feeling that you're stuck with insomnia for the rest of your life. Because the truth is, you're just one step away from turning your stresses and worries into happiness and hope. All it takes is a few simple techniques that get rid of the causes of insomnia inside your brain. Don't let insomnia hold you back. Start using the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol right away. Click the button below to get instant access. If you're still here, that tells me 2 things. 1, you care about your health and you're ready to use the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol to start enjoying life again. And 2, you still have a few questions. That's okay. It means you're taking this seriously. So let me take a second to answer a few of the most common questions people have about the Outsmart Insomnia system. Does the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol really work? Yes. It's based on a new understanding of what causes insomnia and uses research from the University of Oxford to help people beat their insomnia for good. These techniques have already been used by thousands of people to erase their insomnia. It worked for me, it worked for them, and it can work for you. How does it work? The Outsmart Insomnia Protocol is based on 2 key points of medical research. 1, insomnia happens when the wake center of the brain stays active, even while the sleep center of the brain activates. Your brain is telling your body to both go to sleep and stay awake. And 2, you can physically change your brain and your brain activity through certain actions, habits, and even by eating certain foods. Ryan researched which actions and habits would repair the problems in your brain that cause insomnia. Each module of the protocol is designed to increase the activity in the sleep center of your brain and decrease the activity in the wake center of your brain, so your brain can stop fighting with itself and you can finally cure insomnia. How long does it take? Many people get the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol and fall right asleep that night. For others, it takes 3 to 10 days to start repairing your sleep schedule. This is a cure that will last a lifetime, so for some people it takes a little more momentum to get going. And the strategies to spend more time in Stage 3 deep NREM sleep will start working as soon as you start using them. But whether you first see results tonight or next week, you can rest assured knowing those results will last forever. Does it work for everybody? Anyone can use the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol. Whether you're 15 or 105, man or woman, the techniques in this program will reprogram your brain to start sleeping easy again. Of course, just getting the program won't work. You do actually have to use the techniques. But if you do the techniques, we guarantee results. If you don't see results, you'll get a 100% refund. What do I get with the program? You'll get instant access to each module of the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol. Module 1, The Truth About Insomnia, which will show you the recently discovered truth about what really causes insomnia. Module 2, The Quick and Dirty Guide to Fall Asleep in 15 minutes or less, which will give you the tools you need to easily get to sleep. Module 3, 3 Steps to Balance Your Brain Chemistry, Fix Your Sleep Schedule, and Cure Insomnia Forever, which will help you get to sleep quickly every night and is the only long-term insomnia cure that actually works. And Module 4, The Neuroscientist's Secrets to Deep, Satisfying Sleep and Waking Up Refreshed, which gives you proven techniques to spend the most time possible in Stage 3 NREM deep sleep, the type of sleep that actually restores, heals, and refreshes. How do I read the program? The Outsmart Insomnia Protocol comes as a PDF which you can download and read on your computer, smartphone, tablet, or e-reader. Or you can easily print it if you prefer to read a hard copy. Is the program safe? Yes. Thousands have already safely used it to transform their lives. And obviously, it's also a good idea to get your doctor's advice on medical issues like insomnia. What if I'm not satisfied? You'll get 100% of your money back. No questions asked. Think about it this way. You can try it out now, and you'll have 60 days to test it out. If you're not happy, just request a refund. That means you can try the Outsmart Insomnia Protocol for yourself for 0 risk. Click the button below to say goodbye to insomnia forever.